Hello, welcome back to Waffle Wisdom. How many times have you been to a conference, presentation, workshop, professional development, and you left thinking, wow, I didn't get as much out of that as I was hoping? I think there's a reason for that. I think many of our professional development opportunities focus more on pedagogy and less on the content of what we actually teach. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. In the Golden Waffle Principle, Finding Meaning in Teaching, I talk a little bit about this, and I want to read a brief passage to you. Greek gives us the word pedagogos for teacher, and Latin has magister, but they are not synonyms. The former literally means a leader of children, and the latter suggests a master of knowledge. Very often, professional development for teachers focuses exclusively on pedagogy, or the art and practice of teaching. It is crucial that the science teacher be involved in science, the art teacher be an artist, and that choir and orchestra teachers be musicians themselves. Someone who cooks from a recipe can prepare perfectly adequate meals, but a chef produces delight. When teachers allow themselves to be inspired by what happens in the classroom, to pursue related matters of scholarship or creativity outside the classroom, the result is that the classroom becomes an even richer place for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're teaching kindergarten or you're teaching a senior physics class at the high school level. Where do you get your development? Where do you grow as a thinker, as an intellectual person? Yes, as a scholar. And again, there's no distinction between the kindergarten teacher and the high school physics teacher when it comes to this. A teacher has to be a scholar. And this is why the Greeks and the Latins, we had two words for teacher. Pedagogos, the Greek word, being a leader of children. Yes, that's what we do. We lead children. We lead them through the curriculum. We lead them through research tools and how to be a student and so forth. But magister, the Latin word for teacher, indicates the master of a subject. We have to know something, okay? And it requires more than just being a couple chapters ahead of the class. Right? So where do you go to get intellectually renewed? Where do you go to get cognitively stimulated? I hope that when you go to conferences, you find some sessions that do those things. Perhaps you are somebody who presents yourself. Present in your content area, or a particular content area if you are an elementary teacher and you teach multiple areas of content. Hats off to you. Present yourself. Write an article. Publish. Host your own podcast. Record your own video. Have those conversations that stimulate you intellectually. Because as the magister, someone who is the master of the subject, you're going to be able to bring the wealth and the breadth and the depth of your knowledge to your class. And you say, well, I can't bring all of that to the classroom. And of course you can't. I mean, just take a look at the books on the shelf behind me. Do you seriously think that I reference every one of these books? Of course I don't. Not even close. Not in one given class year, not if I have students for 4 years. But the reading I do informs me, shapes my perspective. And so when a student takes a class with Mr. Perkins, that student knows part of what he or she is going to get is my wisdom drawn from my reading and my intellectual development in talking with others and reading broadly and reading deeply and going to conferences and going to sessions that are outside my particular area of Latin. So I encourage you to focus on the content side of what you do, as well as the skills and how to teach it. I hope you found this episode interesting, maybe helpful. If so, please subscribe, whether on YouTube or whatever platform you're listening to as a podcast. We'd love to have you as a part of the conversation. As always, have a waffle day.